Kelvin, over to you.
Hi, thanks, Daniel. Good afternoon, selamat petang to all my fellow Sabahan. If I got it pronunciation correctly, how are you in Dusun should read as Hunu Haba. All right. So Yongsheng had brought us through what can eBay provide the services to all the seller out there. Now is let us in DHL for us to share with you what are the insights, what you need to get yourself prepared, to get yourself understand what are the customer journey in this cross-border international cross-border. And in this session, we also will share with you the tips and also the know-how. And we also will share with you what are the myths in the custom, right? So without further ado, allow me to start right now. All right, so to a lot of entrepreneurs, right, before they get into something new, which is like, let's say about e-commerce is really new to them, they have a lot of concern. They don't know what is the e-commerce all about. And this is what we are gathered from our customer before, because we have been doing this for the past 4 years. So a lot of them, they have concern. They will have to say, the cost involved, I want to go into this e-commerce is too high, and they are more comfortable to stay domestic, because when they think they want to go international, they have a concern of how I'm going to prepare the document and what sort of custom clearance, and can my shipment be cleared or it be trackable and so on. But not to worry, folks. This is the session that we're able to give you the sharing of all the know-how in international cross-border. All right, so in this session, we will have 4 topics here. First of all is like understand the customer journey, and we will share with you what will be the mindset of a customer when they go into e-commerce shopping, right? And for us as a seller, right, the world is so huge, right? So we don't know where you want to target on. So we will tell you, identify your market and where are you going to get those information from, okay? The third part, which is to myself personally, I felt that this is very important to understand the custom clearance. In this, we will share with you what you need to get yourself prepared when you are coming to the last part of the customer journey, when we're talking about fulfillment, when you need to ship the products that been purchased by your buyer to them, right? So last but not least, get a reliable logistic partner that able to provide you a one-stop solution that will have the reliable platform that help you to prepare all those documents and manage your database at the same time. All right. So what is customer journey? I bet all of us here, we are consumer in a way, right? So like what Daniel has said it earlier in his introduction, during this MCO or lockdown, everyone are looking into e-commerce. They are buying from various of platform and marketplace, right? So before we are going to buy something from those platform or marketplace, right? We as a consumer, what we will do first, of course, we will need to search for the item that we want. Okay, when we found the item in certain platform, let's say we found it in eBay, okay, what are the information that you guys need to see? Of course, you need to look at the description, you need to look at the picture, like eBay had share with you, take as many as picture, high pixel as possible, so that we as a consumer, we can browse through in our mobile phone or tablet, right? So from there, when they decided, okay, I'm going to buy this from this seller, then they will look into the review that you got it from the previous transaction. So they read through the review, then they'll make the decision. Finally, they make the payment through a payment gateway, PayPal, and so on. Then there comes the last part of the arrangement, which is the fulfillment part, and what we call a last mile delivery, right? So these are the journey from A to Z, right? In the customer journey when they are buying something, e-commerce, right? And based on the study, 87% of the buyer, they are likely to return to a when they encounter a very good delivery experience. Having said that, again, allow me to share my personal experience. I used to visit the retail that sell protein for workout, and during the MCO last year, I encountered this premium seller, which is the principal of the brand. And the first time I bought from them, yes, I got my order within the 2 days. Okay, and since then, I've been continue to buy the protein from a same seller. Why? Because the first, of course, is a competitive pricing, right? I can see very clearly the description of what's the protein content and so on, the nutrition content. And thirdly is that they fulfill what they advertise. Indeed, I really received the order within 2 days. Therefore, I consume the protein like every 2 months once. So since then, since May last year until now, I'm still buying from the same seller. So this is what we are saying, that 87% of the buyer, they will more likely will go back to the same seller. So this is to let us to understand as a seller what is in the mindset of a consumer when they are coming into to buy something online, right? So when we talk about know your market, the world we have Asia Pacific, we have Europe, we have in the US, South America. But based on the product that you have, which market that you want to go into, all right? Nowadays, it's very easy, right? Everything, we just type google.com. You can search anything. You want to search anything, you just ask Mr. Google. Mr. Google will give you all those information. And of course, you need to spend some time to do your study and so on. But nevertheless, in DHL, you guys can just take down the address, the link appear on the screen, whereby you can find all those insights that DHL had gathered since the day one we started this workshop or webinar for now, right? You can download for free for all the insights that it may help you in your planning, where you want to target, where you want to sell your product to. And all those are the insights that I believe so very strongly that able to help in your business planning. Okay, all right. So now let's move into the custom clearance, right? So what you can see over here, right? You can see 5 elements on the screen. First of all, we will tell you shortly what is Incoterm, what is total landed cost. Total landed cost, in short, is know what is the shipping cost and including your selling price and so on, all right? And what is de minimis value, right? The fourth point here is a shipping document. What is commercial invoice, right? What is need to be input into a commercial invoice before you prepare all the relevant shipping document. And last but not least is understanding a country-specific regulation. Okay, country-specific regulation, to me, I feel it is related. You're also part of the element that you need to incorporate when you are doing your study, because this product need to be shipped to the destination. So as a seller, if you're able to gather some information of the custom requirement of the country, it will be better. All right. Okay, so now we're talking about Incoterms, right? Like you can see on the blue box there, transfer the risk of a seller to a buyer. You can see many words there, CIF, DAT, FOB, and so on. So in short, Incoterm means that the terms of trade agreed between you and your buyer, all right? Just between you and your buyer. That is in logistic perspective. But when you're coming into express shipping for e-commerce, don't need to crack your head. Straightforward, you just look at into 2 Incoterms. First of all is DAP, then followed by DDP. So you can see the description on the screen. So what is delivery at place? So duty and taxes paid by receiver or consignee, which means that you as a seller, when there's a buyer buy from you, what you're responsible is pick up, reach until the destination country, full stop. The destination duty or taxes, if any, incurred in the country itself, it will be your buyer responsible. In this case, we are talking about receiver or consignee. All right. So the next term is DDP, delivery duty paid, right? Duty and taxes paid by shipper and consignor. All right. Like Chinese said, you bow everything. The shipping cost is you, the destination tax and duty also you, right, as a seller. So you arrange everything. If I buy anything from a seller that are selling DDP, so what I'm going to do as a buyer, I just wait, after I make the payment, I just wait for the goods to arrive without to think of what should I worry, whether the customer will tax me higher or a lot of tax element in my invoice in the later on, right? So that means this will be responsible by shipper or the seller upfront. But of course, there also some seller, they will sell at this DDP term, but I would like to advise that if, as a seller, if you want to sell at the DDP, of course, upfront homework must be, you must do all your homework. You really need to understand the country that you targeted, what are the taxes, and also percentage, duty percentage, and is the product that you sell into the country have any restriction or any additional document required or not. Okay, so preparation is very important. Okay, so now we'll talk about total landed cost, right? Total landed cost is the price of a product when it arrives in the buyer doorstep. But what are those total price derived from? Where are we going to find the information? First of all, HS code. HS code is a harmonized coding, all right? It's been recognized by the World Custom, all right? Incoterms, like what I shared just now, Incoterms, it can be a DDP or a DAP, all right? Export control, export type, and finally the duty and taxes. So these are the information that need to be input into the commercial invoice, which I'll share with you later. What are those format like? But where are we? Now the question is, where are we going to get the information? If you guys been to MPH or popular bookstore, right? You guys may or may not might not see this kind of red book, right? As you see the custom guidebook, the red color, that is for Malaysia. Okay, is about this thick. It costs you about 100 over ringgit. Okay, this contain all those product harmonized code and what are the duty and taxes that in Malaysia. All right, the red book is for Malaysia only. But if you are selling to US, where are you going to get the information? Again, simple way, just ask Mr. Google. Okay, Mr. Google will show you US custom and border control website, and you need to spend a lot of time to go into the website and look for the HS coding or the harmonized code classification. It takes time, okay? But not to worry, you can come to DHL. We have a portal called Trade Automation Services. It's able to give you all those information as long as you input the correct information of your product. Therefore, you're able to help you to furnish you the information that require. Okay. All right. So we talk about de minimis value. So what is de minimis value? Like what I explained on the screen, refer to a minimum value of the goods which no duty and taxes are being collected by customs. For example, in Malaysia, you buy anything from overseas, as long as the total invoice value is below 500 ringgit, then the custom will classify this as a lepasan terus, or in English, it's called direct release. That means custom will just clear your shipment based on the manifest they receive from the airline or from the forwarder or from even from, like, for example, from DHL. Okay. Now look into the country that appear on the screen. What you can see here in US is 800 US dollar. 800 US dollar, we base on 4 ringgit to 1 US dollar is 3,200 ringgit. Just imagine the amount of sales that you can achieve if you are specifically target on US. How about Singapore? Singapore is about 400 Sing dollar, which comes to about 1,002 ringgit, Malaysia. All right. And we used to have Australia, but unfortunately, Australia government already removed the de minimis to a higher level. Therefore, you no longer competitive. So if you are looking into a country that able to where the spending power is higher, therefore you can look into US or in Singapore that able to help you to gain more sales. Okay. All right, shipping document. Now we are talking about shipping document. Okay, you see, when you prepare the shipment, you pack into a box, nicely packed box, and you ship it out. Domestic, in Malaysia, you does not need to have a shipping document or commercial invoice. But when it goes to international, cross-border, then you need to have a commercial invoice. The custom don't know who are you. They don't know what is the product all about. The only way they can know is based on the commercial invoice that you had prepared upfront. Okay. So what needs to be in the commercial invoice? First of all, of course, we need to prepare in English as is a universal language, and clear details of the shipper, which is you as a seller, and also your receiver detail. Of course, when you talk about details, you need to have a complete addresses, phone number. At some point, if you have the email, it's even better. All right. Now we talk about Incoterm. You need to tell the custom this shipment you ship as what. Like I said earlier, in cross-border international, straightforward, it's either DAP or DDP. Whether the receiver will bear the destination duty or the seller will manage it upfront. Okay. The fourth point, which is D, is very important. Okay. Avoid vague description. For example, if you are selling a shoe or a shirt, let's take it a shirt, right? A round collar tee. Please put it is a cotton or it's a polyester. Is it for sportswear or is it casual wear? Please put it in because the description of your product will determine what will be the percentage of tax and duty, if any. These are very important element. The second one, the fifth, equally important as the detailed product description, the HS code. We would strongly recommend and encourage seller to put in the HS code in the invoice. Why? Because when you put in the description of the HS code in the invoice, then the destination clearance, they don't need to base on their understanding of your product description to find the HS code, or at some time it can be defined by the custom. The custom will help you to put. Then and somehow you will change the tariff, and end of the day, your buyer will need to pay a higher tax. All right. So we as a seller, we put it upfront. We tell the destination custom, this is my HS code. This is my product and I know it better. All right. Country of origin, yes, you need to put in where this product coming from. It's coming from Malaysia, put it as Malaysia. All right. Of course, the quantity, the currency that you use, you need to put it in. And the last point is that the value. What we like to tell you here is WTO recognized discount. You can put in a discount into the invoice. For example, if the buyer are buying for at $100 US, you are giving 10%, you can put in 10% discount to your buyer. All right, it's no harm. But 2 points here you need to take note. As you can see on the screen on your right hand side, custom value FOB and custom value CIF. So what is these two different? First of all, custom, let's say we talk about FOB value, or the whole description is called freight on board. It means that the total selling price, all right? CIF, it means commodity, insurance, and freight. So what is this two different value here? In US, the customer will look at FOB. That means the customer will look at the selling price of your goods, which you put inside the invoice. But in Europe and Asia Pacific, the customer will look at CIF value. So what is CIF? CIF value, that means includes your selling price, the freight cost, insurance cost. Add up these three, then the total cost will be a CIF. The custom will base on this to do the release, the clearance, and also the release of the goods. Then you must thinking, what is the insurance? How much is insurance? How much is the freight? Freight wise, if you're using DHL service, you will know the price upfront, then you convert into US dollar, then you put it in. Insurance costs across the board, everyone will use $1. Okay, so just bear in mind there will be a two different set of value. One is FOB, one is CIF. FOB, the US custom will look into FOB. Europe and Asia Pacific, most of the custom will look into CIF. Just take note of that when you are going into preparation of commercial invoice. Okay, understanding country-specific regulation. It happens to Malaysia, it happens to everywhere of the world. All right. So what I would like to stress here is that custom does not give you any confirmation in writing, first thing, and what you get the treatment now, it may be different from the next treatment that you get it from them. Right. There is no a standard process across the board. Okay, it can change. Classification is not the same across the country. It means the classification, the first four digits of the HS code will be the same, but the second two set of the 4 digits at the back, it may be different. All right. So get a reliable logistic partner that offer you international shipping, cover the custom clearance, and of course, like what Yongshen has shared earlier, express and EC return if there is a requirement from your buyer, then the logistic partner able to help you in this. All right. So very quick sharing about DHL Express Malaysia. Right. We are not new in Malaysia, of course. We are here in 1973. What you can see right here is the bow in red wording is Hong Kong, Leipzig, and CVG, which is Cincinnati, is our major hub in the world, right? This how we move our goods to around the world, right? So like what you talk about transit time now, right? Asia Pacific, we are looking into next working day. Europe is 2 working days, and America, we are looking at 1 to 3 working days. Okay. So some information about Malaysia. We have 4 dedicated aircraft, 2 up in Penang, where I live now, and 2 in KL. Right. For example, like for Sabah, your shipment will need to transit to KL, then it will goes out from KL. All right. Yeah. So transit time performance 97.2 all-time high at this range. And clear on air, what I'd like to share with you is when you are using DHL Express, clear on arrival, that means before your shipment arrive into the destination, it's already been cleared by custom in system. So upon arrival of the aircraft touchdown, the courier can just take the shipment and go out for delivery. All right. So what you can see on the left top hand, right? DHL 4 converted Boeing 767, right? But in the latest development, DHL acquired another 8 more Boeing 777 into our fleet globally. And just to share with you, because of the pandemic, e-commerce have increased by 40% over the last year, right? And it will continue the trend by this year also. Okay. Now we're going into the tools, which, like I have mentioned earlier, what are the tools that are able to help you to ease your work in the preparation of last mile delivery, where you can spend more time in your business planning, how you're going to market your product and so on. So first of all is My DHL Plus, is a portal that able to help you to create an airway bill and do custom documents. In the older days, we need to write our airway bill and prepare a shipping invoice separately. But now no more, everything is a one-stop solution. You can create your airway bill in My DHL Plus. You also can create the commercial invoice in My DHL Plus. At the same time, it's able to help you to manage your address book, download your history, right? schedule pickup, track shipment, and you can also do a check your rate through My DHL Plus. So it's a one-stop solution for our customer. Okay, on-demand delivery, right, is designed to manage your customer shipping shipping experience. Why? All of us are consumer. If you buy something online, as one day, at times that we reach our house, you will see a pink card left it on your letterbox saying that I'm Post Laju or whatever, I'm here, but you're not around. Please call us to collect your parcel or collect at the nearest service center and so on. With on-demand delivery, upon the DHL courier pick up the goods from your site, from your premise, your buyer will receive this message: DHL Express every bill from Adidas scheduled to deliver tomorrow, blah, 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 right? So if I'm a buyer from Adidas and I knew that tomorrow I'm not at home, so what I'm going to do, I can click on the link, I go to this website, this portal on the left, that you can see there's a 6 selection there: service point, parcel locker collection, signature release, alternate address, scheduled delivery, leave with neighbor, and lastly, vacation home. Your customer can manage their own delivery. They can set their own expectation. Therefore, upon the shipment arrive, if they are at home, they will receive from home. If they're not at home, they can just tell the DHL there, say, please deliver to me at this time, at this hour. All right? It can be managed in that way also. So paperless trade, yes, another features that we would like to recommend to our customer, whereby is that you can prepare the document online through our My DHL Plus. At the same time, you don't need to print it out. It can transmitted electronically to the destination for clearance. You just need to have an every bill. So it's we are cutting less tree just by eliminating the addition document, convert into e-document instead. All right, so we talk about the trade automation services just now for you to find the information of the various market that you want to go, the various countries that you want to go in, to know specific on the custom requirement. Yes, DHL had that as well with no extra charge. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my presentation. Not to worry, if you have any question, you can go to the Q&A box and ask us. If you're feeling shy, not to worry, we have our contact number, Alvin, William, and myself. Our contact details are here. Feel free to drop us and email in the later stage. All right, with that, I'll pass it back to Daniel. Daniel, over to you.